Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Shut Door, or Door Should Have Come Back to with episode 3 of A Step Back. And today, we are quickly going to make an ingot cast. I wanted to do this on camera because, why not? And also, I'm actually going to grab one more brick here, like full stack brick. And we're going to take a seared brick, throw that in here. I actually put some gold in here. And we're going to make a cast with the seared ingot. This will make an ingot cast. Of course, you can see it says recipe ingot cast over there. And now we can actually make ingots with what we have in here. But I also want to quickly make this a bit better. So I've got some iron here. And just kind of show you guys some simple automation with tinkers, right? So if I take... Actually, let's just grab 2 chests. Actually, no, I want 3 chests. Can I make 3? Probably not. Let's see. Yeah, we can make another chest here. Perfect. And then let's take these down into iron ingots. And let's go just like that. 2 hoppers, and then the chest is one we're going to keep. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put a chest here. We're actually going to take out these blocks. And we're going to put chest. I guess we could break this block here. Hopper and hopper. So what this will do is if we, for example, put an ingot in here, it'll fall down into the hopper, go all the way over here, and come out. All right. So the same thing with blocks, which is what the casting basin is for, is making full blocks. I believe there's other stuff you can do with the casting basin, but I'm not 100% sure if that is this version or another version. Yeah, so here's a whole bunch of like different casting recipes, and just looking at this icon here will actually tell you what it's actually used for, right? So these are all casting table recipes. You've got quite a few casting table recipes, as you can see. I'm actually not seeing any of the block ones, but they might be like way, way, way far down, right? But yeah, 800 and something recipes. Oop, there they were. Yeah, see, you can see all of your block casting recipes here. So you could make red sand with a mixture of blood. So there is some things where you can put an item in this and get something else out. That's kind of what I'm trying to show you. So yeah, here, enlightened fused quartz. So just something to keep in mind. But we're going to keep going on this. You can see everything's just tunneling in there. And I'm going to get this all sorted out. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of, setting this up so you guys aren't left out of the loop. Alrighty, so I have been doing some looking around in the world of the interwebs to try and improve this pack a little bit. And in that time, which is like a couple hours because I don't really have a whole lot of time, I have determined that there is a lack of things that I need, if that makes sense. So there's some things that will be in a future update, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt, keyword attempt, to make a mod for this, because there's nothing that actually supports Ender.io, or not Ender.io, Mechanism. There is something that supports Ender.io, and I think Ender.io itself is actually what supports itself. So if I look here, you can see that there's a molten intergetic alloy, and you can see there's destabilized redstone, gold, glowstone to make an alloy, right? Ender.io integration with Tinker's construct, perfect. But if I look up osmium, there is nothing. Which, yes, 100%. You could pulverize it, you could crush it, you could macerate it, you could do all these things, but I want to have Tinker's construct. The thing is a lot of the mods that add stuff like this, the fluid for osmium ore, are for 1.7, right? And this is not something I really thought about when developing this pack, but there's also something else, okay? And that is Divine RPG, right? I've been looking, trying to come up with some solutions. I was trying to use Content Tweaker, which allows you to add some fluids and stuff, but for some reason it would hit a point where it's like, hey, I can't do anything more. it'll crash. Like, straight up crash the game. It won't let the fluids load, so that's not an option. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mod in here for Divine RPG ores, like straight up every ore, make them able to be smelted in tinkers, as well as um, I believe industrial foregoing, isn't it? Yeah, the liquid raw ore meat. I'm going to attempt to get some of this stuff compatible with other mods. I don't know how it's going to work. I'll keep you guys updated, you know, because it's going to take a while to get that done, because it is also 1.12. So that's a whole new modding environment and everything. But I plan on getting that added sooner or later. I believe there's some mods that add some stuff, but then they add a whole bunch of other stuff on top of it, and I kind of want something more generally focused. So I'm going to look into it over time, and hopefully within, you know, a month or so, we can actually look at that, right? But alright, so let's make some iron chests here, because I actually need to kind of figure out some storage problems here. I think I'm just going to toss all the blocks in the bottom here. We're going to make a few more chests. We don't really have too many blocks right now, because I put all the cobblestone in a drawer. Also, I've updated the pack to 0.03, which actually just adds the storage drawer extra mod. Yeah, storage drawers extras. This basically adds compatibility with Natura and Biomes O'Plenty, so you can actually make drawers out of the woods you find around the world. That was mostly because I remember this mod being a thing, completely spaced on it, and I couldn't make anything with eucalyptus, so I had to go actually harvest oak wood to make drawers. Changed that just so it's easier. But yeah, like we're cruising, we're getting some stuff done here. Let's actually add this and this. But I hope I can get that done, because I really want to be able to smelt a lot of these ores in tinkers and have that peace of mind of kind of ore doubling. Yes, it's going to kind of defeat a little bit of Divine RPG's like hardness, but at the same time, I don't really care. I think it would be interesting, especially because we just have the mods in here in the first place, so I might as well try it. And then the top one's just redstone and coal, so I'm not going to move that. I'm also going to grab tools and put them in here. And just get a little bit of organization going, so we don't lose our minds here. Grab some of this other stuff. All right. So now, what can we do, right? We have a pretty decent group of metals here. Copper, tin, silver, and lead. And a little bit of gold. Not a whole lot of gold. We can actually look at kind of getting a better arsenal of tools. I think that sounds like a really good option right now, right? So we'll need another head or two. So we'll need... Actually, let's do that first. Let's look at getting broad tools. So broad tools are not that hard to obtain, because all you need is a tinker's tool station, I believe. Is that what it's called? It is a tool forge. That's what it's called. Okay, so tool forge, and we're going to need seared bricks, and I think, yeah, I have... So let's grab 8 of that, and then let's grab the seared brick we have in here. All right. And then we're going to need 4 blocks. So I'm going to need a little bit more. And of course, this can use any metal, but I think I'm just going to use iron for right now. All right, so let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, later versions, this was changed into an anvil type looking block, which I think is pretty interesting how they've altered it throughout the Tinker's versions. All right, so let's grab this, grab this. So we're going to need this. We're going to need this. This, and then this. And then use. So it's just like that. And we can actually get rid of the tool station, this thing right here. Plop down the tool forge, and you can see we have a whole new category of tools. We've got a crossbow, a longbow, shurikens, bolts, cleavers, basically all the things your heart could desire, right? A hammer is something that I want to get ASAP. And that is mostly because a hammer can mine a 3x3 area. Or is it? Yeah, it's a 3x3, so 9 blocks in total. And I think this would be fantastic. So let's look at getting this. So we'll need to get some new faces here. So we'll need this. We'll need a large or a tough tool binding here. And we're going to also need a hammerhead. So we're actually going to be using up, I think, all of the gold we have. So I'm probably going to need to go harvest up some more gold. One of the problems that we're going to run into, and I know this for a fact, is Divine RPG spawning. In the live stream I did between 1 and 2, we had quite a few issues where mobs were straight up spawning in lit up areas from Divine RPG. No other mobs were spawning. So if I do this, I'm probably going to have to slab the area, which is something that I totally don't want to do, but I'm going to have to do it just because at the end of the day, if I don't, then it's going to be terrifying. Okay? Okay. So let's grab the head pattern, the tough binding pattern, and the large plate pattern. So large plate, let's just do that one first. And I accidentally just made a blank one. Don't worry, these can be smelted back down. But I'm going to grab some more gold here, and I will be right back with you guys. Also, apparently they can't be smelted down in this version. The more you know, because I really didn't know that. Shucks. Alrighty, so real quick here, I wanted to make a backpack because I keep running out of space. And we have just iron backpacks in here. Just kind of a simple backpack mod. Sophisticated storage and not anything like that did not exist in this point. So if we actually look up iron backpacks, there are a few upgrades in here, of course. There's the Everlasting, which I believe just doesn't despawn. Let me press F3H real quick here, because I was experimenting around with some stuff off camera. Keeps backpacks that have been dropped from despawning, extra upgrade points, latch upgrade, damage bar upgrade. So there's not really a whole lot you can do with this unless you wanted the Everlasting, which cost 4 upgrade points. But we're going to grab an iron backpack. We want more storage. So let's actually quickly grab 2 more logs. Let's also grab, I believe that was 7 of those. And what I was experimenting with was actually trying to get osmium to function as a molten liquid, but there were some issues with Content Tweaker. So I think I'm done going any route with Content Tweaker. And just going to straight up try and go make a mod for 1.12 that will be basically in addition to this. But I did get Mod Tweaker, another version, to actually work, and I've turned that cast back into copper. So if I press use, you can see that these are still normal, but if I get a blank cast, which is this first one here, and I look at the smelting here, I've added a recipe. This won't be put in currently. I think I'm going to hold off until I can get the mod developed, which should be this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I believe, is like the 5th, March 5th, March 6th, somewhere around there. I think I might do a live stream trying to develop that and seeing where we can go. But I'm going to try and get more ores. I just really needed more storage because I keep running out. And I haven't found any gold as of current. So I will see you guys in a little bit. I'm going to get some mining done. Also, real quick, 1.12 does have an offhand slot. I believe I said in a previous episode that it didn't. And that was actually because I tried to press F to throw this in my hand. And apparently, Thaumcraft has this set as F by default, this change caster focus, which overrides the actual offhand putting thing. I just wanted to clear that up because I know I remember saying that. I don't remember if it was in a live stream or in an episode, but yeah. Alrighty, so I spent a decent chunk of time looking for any gold, and I found none. So we're going to do what is called aluminum brass. You can use aluminum brass to make casts and or brass itself, right? There's two different variations, right? So let's see. I don't even know if brass is actually craftable. Yeah, this is like Thaumcraft brass. Okay. I could definitely add a recipe for this, but that's okay. Yeah, it's like requiring another mod. So, brass is kind of not really supposed to be in here, most likely. But that's all right. So, we're going with aluminum brass. Aluminum brass is crafted with copper and aluminum. Simple, right? So if I grab... Do I have any aluminum? I might not have any aluminum in my inventory, at least, because I know I actually have some. Doodly-doo. Let's do this feature. Okay. So there should be some in here then. Yes. All right, let's double click to remove that. And then here, actually, hold on. I want to empty this before I do anything. Oop, I did it again, didn't I? That's okay, because at least I can smelt it back down. All right, let's take the ingot cast, put this back in here. Let's get rid of the iron. And then I think we'll get rid of the gold. And I'll throw the aluminum in here because there's actually copper in here as well. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so the aluminum just smelted and it's currently forming the aluminum brass inside of the smeltery, which means that now we can get our cast. So we've got the face cast and we need two more. So we need the stone hammerhead and the stone tough binding, which will just make a tough binding cast. Alright, and this is still, of course, going. So we can actually pull out this. And with an ingot cast, we can pull out that ingot. And I think for all of this, we're basically going to do iron. And actually, I believe I need one more thing, which is the tough tool rod. So I might need to throw some of this back in there. And what we can do is we can actually just break this down and take two of it and make a cast with that. Right? Oop. We'll just do that. And I'm curious, can I make a bone? Hold on, before I even do that, can I make a bone tough tool rod? Do I have any bones? I do have bones. Because bones seem to be pretty good with a handle. Okay, so let's grab that. And let's actually get this made, because we'll probably change it out sooner or later. But we're not going to use that right now. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to grab iron. So that's 30 pieces. Oh, and apparently it's only one compared to gold. Alright, that's something new that I don't remember, but, you know. And I'm going to let this smelt, and I'll be right back when we get the stuff for a hammer. Alrighty, so we're getting stuff for a hammer here, so we're going for the iron hammerhead, which I believe this takes 8 ingots in total, so it's a decent chunk of iron to get this first piece, and I believe both of these are 8 as well. So we're going to use basically all of the iron in here, if not actually all of it. So keep that in mind. This isn't a cheap recipe by any means. We're going to be putting a lot of resources into this to just get a hammer. But a hammer will be a lot more efficient to actually use than a lot of the other stuff. So we'll grab that. We'll put the hammerhead away. And here's all of the metals you can smelt down to make this. Of course, I believe right now we really just have access to iron. And we can look at this. So durability 50. So if we had like pig iron, it'd be 170. Knight's metal, cobalt. And there, of course, is like different traits. So magnetic apparently will give you magnetization for a certain reach. Cobalt is just mining faster. Cobalt's one of the better tiers, by the way. A copper tough binding. Huh. Well, maybe we might shoot for that. How much is this? 3? So we toss one of those in there. We might just go for a copper one. That might not sound like a terrible idea. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. But it looks like it's better than... Let's look at that, right? Copper binding. Actually, that is better than what I have on my pickaxe, I believe, as of current, right? Yeah, like that's 50. I might want to upgrade my pickaxe with copper. Huh. And what about a head? Right? I don't think this would be that great. 210 iron. Yeah, so this is 204 diamond. So yeah, this wouldn't be that great. But the binding, which just gives durability, would be fantastic. So let's go for that. And I genuinely might just throw all the copper in here so we can actually grab another thing in a second here, which is this right here. What about a handle? Or tool rod, that's what they're called. Okay, so if I bookmark this and this, let's get rid of the tool forge, and look at bone tool rods. So this gives 1.1 and 50. Okay, so not as great, right? I was just curious. You know, doesn't hurt to look, right? Oh, no, no, no. Dang it. That's okay, we can smelt this back down. But yeah, just a little bit more durability. I'm fine with going out of my way to get more durability with these tools. The more durability means the less materials you have to use overall. Anyway, so, I mean, actually, speaking of that, copper head, copper plate, actually. 210 iron, 204 diamond, mining speed 6, attack 4. I mean, yes, that kind of is better, but I want the better mining level. We could do a sharpening kit, though. Does it really matter, though? Not really. Let's look at the iron plate. Or what it's the hammerhead. That's what I'm thinking. 210 iron. Yeah, let's just go for iron right now. And apparently I don't need the binding for this. So that's fine. What did I need the binding for? I mean, we could do an excavator. An excavator is a 3x3. There's the lumber axe in here as well. The scythe. Okay. So I didn't really need these two, or this one at least, but we can put this one on my pickaxe. And you can see we get a decent amount of durability here. And we also get well established, which gains additional XP. Okay. We also have modifiers, more modifiers we can put on here because I leveled this up. But we can actually throw this back in there. And we have a hammer. Fantastic. So if I look at lapis, I wouldn't really be able to do anything with this, would I? But let's grab an emerald and a diamond. Let's increase the mining level of this and more durability, right? So, yeah. Gives a little bit more attack or mining speed and attack speed, but mining speed mostly. And we'll go ultra block breaker. There we go. So now we've got a hammer, right? And the hammer will basically allow for us to get a little bit more of mining done. All right, so let's actually run down here so we can actually test this hammer out, right? All right, so we're down at the bottom here, and I think if we just start breaking through a wall, you can see the outline is where you're mining. Of course, this is going to be slower. Throwing some redstone on here would probably be a nice thing to do. Wouldn't be terrible at all to do that, and we're about to hit lava. A decent pit of lava as well. Okay. Just take a little gander around here. 10 ore berry bushes. We'll take these, no problem. Looks like we got some water crystals, some copper, some redstone, nickel, more redstone. We can take all the redstone we can get here. Let's quickly toss away copper, redstone, yellowite. Let's get rid of this cobblestone. Just some, shenanigans down here. Some quartz ore, some of that. I still have not seen that much gold. Like, at all. I'm seeing more coal than I am any gold, so that's... might be something I need to look at increasing or something with ore generation, you know? But I also may just be on the wrong levels. Who knows? I don't remember how old ore generation works that much compared to 1.19 and 1.18, so... need to give that a little look-ski-poo or something, you know? But alright, I think we will wrap up this episode here. We've got a hammer. We've got a little bit better durability on our tool. And we've got some plans for the future of this pack, right? I've kind of explained that I'm going to be working on a mod to increase the Tinker's output, ability to just do more. And I think that will be pretty cool. Of course, there's some limitations I'm probably going to have. I don't know if I'm going to do gems fully, because I know there's some that drop gems. But I'm not 100% sure what I fully will do, right? It'll be all at once, basically. Whenever I release it, it's going to be the whole complete thing. And if I do need to, during some point, make more, because I know, like, the Aether has ores, right? Like, if I look up ores, we've got the Ambrosium, which is kind of be ignored because this actually drops Ambrosium, which is like coal, basically. The Zanite, if I actually look up Zanite, this is more of a gem. We could do this. That wouldn't be terrible. We could do this with a gem cast. But I believe you need to silk touch this ore. And then the other one, which is Gravitite, which is just straight enhanced Gravitite. Okay. And that's a 1-to-1. Interesting. But you can see that this is also made in the altar, which is just kind of like, maybe I won't kind of do the Aether, but like Divine RPG and Tropic Craft, I would love to look at and see what we can add. But there's also some smaller stuff like Osmium and a few other things. I think with like Yellowite, I want to be able to smelt that down and make molten Yellowite kind of stuff. So it's all up in the air for right now. I will keep you guys updated once I know more. We'll probably do a mod development stream or something along those lines in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am really enjoying this. We got our fancy new hammer, a little bit more durability, and a few things to think about for the future. Stay awesome. See you in the next one. Bye-bye!